which was a tough season. It was the 2009 season?
Yeah.
The 2009 season. 2008 was probably our most successful season, where we won a share of the division title. And I think they've been hearing about that now for 4 years. And we had some up and down. We had a good season. It was like off on, off on. It's been really cool seeing these two players grow throughout their 4 years at Blair. They were both soccer players. They had that is their primary sport. And I feel like, as many other girls on this team, lacrosse is just something you'll do when it's not soccer season or not field hockey. Julia went on that season to become the most improved player. I remember she was telling me this story about how she would play that first year, and she'd be in line drills, and some of the senior players would throw the ball so darn hard at her and were so good, and she'd be petrified. And rather than just kind of shirk the responsibility of like being in a line with them, she would just spend hours and hours and hours at the wall to get herself to the point where she could handle it. And we recognize that. The team recognized that. The awards that are going to be given out tomorrow and the team selections for captains are all positions that the team does. I'm just the senior who never graduates. It's their team though. And they recognized that in that young freshman when she became most improved player. She moved to a starting role her sophomore year. I was looking back at old stats. I think we started 9 or 10 games. We started, I think, every game her junior and every game this year. One of the coolest thing about Julia, and like I said, we don't talk about statistics at all. We just don't do it. Was, as I was saying, we had a younger defense that needed people to step up. To solidify things early on, I was actually having Julia play defense a fair amount to make sure that everything was kind of held down. It's all great if you score more than the other team, but you have to stop them at some point too. And by putting Julia in this role, it meant that she wouldn't have any offensive opportunities. And at no point did she ever question it, at no point did she ever complain, at no point did she ever mumble, grumble, whatever. She accepted the responsibility, she realized what she could do best for the team, she stepped up, and she took that role on. And as the team kind of began to rally and come together, she was able to move forward. She ended up this season with 30 goals and 3 assists. And like I said, her first move was almost defensive. She's received all-county from the coaches, Montgomery County coaches polls, accolades, I think even your sophomore year, as well as your junior year for all-county and all-division. We haven't decided that this year, but I can't see why that trend won't continue again. She has been an incredible leader, an incredible captain. She and Rachel. We've accomplished in many ways more with this team than we've ever done in the past. And I think that is really a credit to her hard work, her seriousness, her dedication to what this is all about. I think she started off a little bit more of a soccer player, but I think that again they kind of switched her over to lacrosse. I know for a while she was thinking about playing in college, but I think there's other doors and avenues that she'll explore. I think the cool thing is that game's always going to be there for her, whether she plays in summer leagues or one day she coaches herself, whether it's a youth program or whatever. I know she'll still be around it, and I think she's a great ambassador for the sport and a great ambassador for the team, a great team leader. Much of the success is really yours. So, Julia Lewando. Rach's kind of the same story. When she was a freshman, Julia, we were still trying to figure out where to put her. She was really, really fast, but she also checked well, and she did a lot of things well. Rachel was going to be our center. I think you guys were the last year with Ingram. Coach Ingram, the woman who was very pregnant at the game the other day and had a little child in tow. She was my assistant coach for 8 years. And if you think I'm fired at younger players, you have no idea. I was often the good cop in that good cop, bad cop scenario. So really you have no idea, and I've mellowed. Ingram was a ball flyer. And literally, I want to say like day one of tryouts, even though Rachel really couldn't throw or catch all that great, we were like, yeah, there's our center for the next 4 years. She's like, yep, good, let's move on. It was pretty much that simple. We knew that she was going to be one of the freshmen that we'd bring up. We knew that she was going to be a person who was going to fill a specific role. That picture of them, where I have them all their freshman year, and they're wearing their pennies and they're black, and they're on a track, I remember very clearly we had a conversation, Ingram, myself, and the two of you on the track, just kind of getting a sense for how you guys doing, and you like being on the team, and they're like, yeah, it's fun. Girls are nice. And they were so petrified of Ingram, and I guess to some degree me. And we're just like, afterwards they went away and they were like, we gotta go, we got a soccer game. And we were like, do you think they're gonna come back next year? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, I don't know, let's hope so. And they both did, fortunately. Rachel moved into a starting role her sophomore year. I think junior year you started every game. And senior you finished second on the team in scoring. You had 37 goals and 15 assists. You led the team in assists, which was really cool. As much as you scored, you looked to set up other people. Sometimes it was almost too unselfish. But I think that's why you were so respected by your teammates and your peers, and I think definitely us as coaches and other players on the team, or excuse me, other coaches in the county. As I said, you and Julia were probably one of the most together sets of captains. You replaced pretty strong leadership, but you definitely took those positions, took them so serious. I mean, I could talk about the on-field performances, but I feel like with so many of these players, especially with these seniors, it's their off-field, it's the who they are, which I think is so much cooler about them. Tremendous leaders, tremendous students, and that they're just really, really hard workers. I always steal that Herb Brooks line. Herb Brooks coached that 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team. At the beginning of the year, I say it all the time, these girls are so tired of me saying it, but I'm never looking for the 20 or whatever best players. I'm looking for the 20 right players. And I think we definitely had the right captains, and the captains made sure that we were the right team. I give so much credit. Yeah, we worked hard. Certainly Fry and I worked hard. Everybody on this team worked hard. But I give so much credit to the captains for the work that they've done on and off the field, in the locker rooms to get us ready. I still would love to be privy to, after that huddle we had at the Sherwood game, Fry and I just kind of ran back to the sideline. The team came out to the bench. The starters went, and there was a huddle right there.
Let's huddle.
And Rachel or Julia said, yeah, let's huddle. And it was like, come on. And then it was something, which I don't know. And then I just looked over, and Rachel just had this big smile, and she was laughing. And I don't know how you kind of balance that, the two of you. I don't know how you balance that. It's fun, but you better friggin' do your job right. And you better do it now, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. But it's fun. But I'm not joking. I don't know how you guys did that, but you did it so well, and it was awesome. So congratulations.